Simformer business news insight of the week. Now, definitely this week should be a crucial one. However, I have to admit, still hardly any news from the Spanish government or the investors so far. The reason is pretty simple. As we know through the results that we received at the beginning of this week, we have profitable change in the market. That means the market players are starting to receive return on their investments. In other words, the market is starting to grow and move on. So we have a really good position that and a sign now that our participants can actually grow their businesses properly, and with proper actions, this is not the end for them, which is a very good decision. Let's say good news. And at the same time, the question is that the government is not sure either to make the investments from their side into these companies. We will see later on, will that happen at all or not? But so far we see that Diana Corporation actually managed to climb out of that, deep hole. And obviously, having a profit per turn of this size is a very promising result. So hopefully they will manage to keep it up and climb even higher. So let's take a look at the corporation itself and what happened, why this whole thing did work out. As we see, there hardly any growth so far we've seen this last turn. But as I've mentioned before, it is very essential to try to develop your business in covering a large variety of industries or activities. So we see this not only trade, but at the same time these restaurants. And naturally, if the restaurants are developed properly, pretty well, they start to generate certain profits. Naturally, this is a very promising opportunity to receive good and stable flow of income, which later on, as you see, increases the revenue and at the same time the profit, and as well generates income needed for the growth of the company and the further development as such. In this case, I would still, I don't really like the product mix. I would definitely not make such narrowly specified, specialized stores. Definitely mixing motorcycles and, let's say, tires with clothes should actually be more profitable, in my opinion, and would help these stores to start generating even more income. However, as we see, the point here is that proper mix of store management as well as the restaurant business gave this company the advantage it needed. And finally, it's to help them generate the return on investment pretty well. I mean, rising the index and, showing that it is possible to climb out with pretty big profits in a relatively short period of time. Naturally, these kind of hopes provides opportunity for us to view the market itself from a different angle, as well as it provides opportunity for the government to see that the market yet has opportunity and has the potential to grow. Naturally, the main question is, what about the other participants, and how about the ASEM wave? Now, their story is sadly not that good. If we compare revenue-wise, we'll see that Diana Corporation is leading, obviously. Naturally, even though the ASEM wave did decrease their losses dramatically, they still did not manage to receive as much as they did plan, which in this case is quite a sad moment. Even though if we will take a look at their cumulative revenue, we will see that overall they actually looked pretty well. And if we take a look at the assets, we will see that even though Diana Corporation is smaller and the ASEM wave is bigger, literally, we could also Well, this could also mean that ESEM Wave has a lot more goods in their stock because, well, the value of the company is calculated by the average price of goods and any goods it has. So in this case, it means the company has a good potential even to strike out later on. Question is, will they have that opportunity and will they manage it? Well, we will see. So far, it is not that good looking compared to the Honor Corporation, as they did manage to surpass the ACM Wave. And yes, regarding the revenues as well, because as you remember, ACEM Wave they were leading most of the time. Now also we see that Z-Tech is in, well, considerably in the position. They're third regarding the revenue, and well, not so good considering the profits. We'll see how well they will do and will they manage. If we consider the company asset, the company value, and how much profit they manage to generate, considering the assets they have, the Honor Corporation is definitely leading on this matter. And we'll see, will they manage to maintain this position? As we can see, the balance or the equilibrium here in the top 10 or top 3 even is quite fragile. It is easy to fall down as it is not so easy to climb up. Regarding the other players, we see that cryo fighters are starting to climb up little by little. And in this case, well, they're in top 10 and considerably trying to climb up. The Choban International, well, looking good, but not that big. They definitely optimized the stores and expanded to Malaga. However, the product mix, once again, is a tricky matter, and proper investment management is also a good question. Did they manage to do it or not? If we take a look closer, we see the other participants that are trying to climb up and choosing the smaller business optimization tactics, and actually it is paying off because, as you see, due to this optimization, even the revenue is small. Their profits are, well, or losses in this case, are starting to diminish, which provides the opportunity for these participants to take a pretty high position in the rating. Considering the market and the situation of the market, as we see, profits are good, but start considering the starting positions and what kind of tasks and challenges are here, the situation is not that easily, well, these profits are not that easily achievable. Now, if we go to the amateur league, we see that 1000 Sunny Limited is still here to stay with the top revenue and the smallest losses. They're not yet climbing up with their profits, considering if we compare them to Molka Trade. And of these guys are little by little climbing up. In the amateur league, these guys are actually, well, pretty good, considering this is one of the biggest revenue per turn and their profits are pretty big. So if they manage to keep it up, definitely they might climb up into the top 1 position. If we, however, take a look at the revenue, we'll see that yes, small trade is actually number 1 on this matter, and if they, well, as I mentioned, if they manage to keep it up, definitely they should take the lead. Will they have enough time for that? Now that's a different question. As we can see here, UCV company is also here, and others as well as DOT, the original Al, and the others. So in top 10, you see all these main players, they're doing pretty well. So question is, will these Molka Trade will climb up with their really great looking revenue as well as profits? Now the profits started showing, which means they not only generate good revenue, but they manage, by managing their costs, they are starting to receive profits, which is a great thing. So we'll see how it goes, and will UCV company, well, strike gold again and will manage to generate additional profits. If we take a look at the asset values, you will see that UCB company actually is one of the biggest so far on this league. And let's take a look at their company. Oh, okay, so this is the basic structure of the company, which means we could actually suggest us that this company has, once again, pretty good stockpile of trade goods and could actually manage to go higher, well, with properly managed pricing as well as business processes. Will they manage to do that? No, that's a good question. All right. So far, we're looking at a very interesting period in Spain. The involvement of the government is getting closer and closer, and as we see, their talks with the investors are starting moving forward because everyone is closely anticipating what will happen next. And will the market receive so needed funding so far? Will it happen? We will see, and hopefully in the closest week. If not, then this opportunity for business will be lost, and maybe even for the Spanish market as well. However, as the market is showing growth, well, potential, naturally the government will not be in such a hurry to invest into revival, even though that would be a very sad story and, well, quite a loss. We'll see how it goes. We will be anticipating the beginning of the next week very, very much. And I will see you next time with my insights. Good luck.